And good Thursday morning to you guys. Hey, I have found an article here from Eating Well. I'll link in the description box. 7 things you shouldn't do on a low carb diet according to dietitians. Now, when I look up this dietitian, Jessica Ball, MSRD, nowhere in there does it say that she has practiced a low carb diet. So, she obviously knows what she's talking about. She's the dietitian. I'm not. I don't plan to discuss dietary advice or other health issues. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a dietitian. However, I have practiced the low carb lifestyle, the proper human diet, if you will, for almost a year. And that gives me an experiential, let's just say that I can give you my experiences and all is good, do what you want. So here are the 7 things. And again, I'm sorry, the author is actually Isadora Baum. Sorry, believe it or not, my eyes got better, and I can't actually see with my glasses now. I have to get new glasses. So here's the 7 things reviewed by this dietitian. Don't skimp on veggies. Yes and no. What are you after? My people, so to speak, came from Germany, Poland, and Ireland. And if you take the equivalent climates there, what kind of veggies actually grow there? So you have to look that up. This would be genetically appropriate for your specific human genome on the planet. And I don't skimp on veggies. I sometimes don't feel like eating them. I'll eat the leafy greens, lettuce, of course. I have eaten green beans. I have eaten cauliflower, broccoli. I found that radishes are quite good. And some people can deal with spinach. I don't prefer spinach. I don't like its super earthy flavor, and I understand there's several oxalates and things involved in that. So if you have a kidney stone issue in your past or in your family's past, you might want to look into that. Don't fear fruit. Okay, yes and no. Again, I agree with this in the sense that there are plenty of berries you can eat. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, boysenberries, as far as I remember. Excuse me. Boysenberries. And avocados are fruit, of course. I eat guavas, all right? Those are extremely good. I mean, they have the punch they pack. You'd never look at another banana in your life. But I personally stay away from the sweet fruits, oranges, apples, pears, bananas. Although I could, in the fall, get away with maybe eating an apple or a pear if I knew it weren't genetically modified. That is, it's right off of a native tree. But again, that's my Polish, and I believe Germany, they do have apples in the fall. But that's in order to get fat. So fruits are one of those things. However, they do quote, watermelon. No, sorry. They're mostly water, obviously. But people tend to overeat that. And that's just what I've heard from many people talking about it. And of course, tomatoes are fruits. And as we go through here, just in case I forget, I also eat a fair amount of onions and garlic. All right, cilantro is wonderful. It's a leafy veg. And chilies, which are also fruits, very spicy fruits. Okay, so I eat plenty of that in my typical Mexican diet, and I don't have any issues with it. Don't use it as an excuse to skip out on your workouts. 100%, 100% agreed with this. But you're not working out because you need to lose weight. Please understand this. Look up the calories yourself. Your base metabolic rate will go ahead and get you to where you need to be. The exercise is extremely good for your brain. It's good for your muscles. It keeps them insulin sensitive. It keeps them available to grab any extra glucose you might eat. Oh yeah, the muscles can hold a lot of glucose, more than the liver. It's not to say go, carb load or anything. No, of course not. And you won't need to. But yeah, exercise, walk. I'm 55, you're my age, walk. And walk a lot. Walk for an hour or so. Especially, I did see a video yesterday that came out a year ago. Who knew? He's a coffee connoisseur, and his name is it's eluding me at the moment because I'm kind of into this. But anyway, he essentially drinks his coffee, and then he eats 2 eggs, and then he even was able to eat porridge, which is essentially oatmeal and milk. Okay, and I think he ate 300 grams of it, and then he took a walk, and he had a continuous glucose monitor. His glucose barely nudged and went right back. It's actually kind of amazing. So there's a trick there too, a little hack. Drink coffee, go ahead and eat eggs, and then if you really have to eat carbs and pancakes and like sweet days, like if I have a day that I kind of feel like eating a sweetbread, before I eat the sweetbread, I'll down 4 eggs. That will be normally for cena. That'll be my cena, and then I'll go ahead and there's these delicious. Oh my God, they have figs in them and everything. Right? Like you're not supposed to do that. This is a lifestyle, man. You know what? If I want a piece of sweet, I'll eat a piece of sweet. All right, I'm where I am and where I need to be, and it doesn't affect me. And then before I go to bed, I'll down a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Beautiful, wonderful. Don't be too restrictive. And again, here, I guess that's what they're talking about. Like I said, I eat a sweetbread here and there. Do I desire them? Do I have a dopamine response to them? No, I actually don't. So again, if you're on your way to like a goal, a weight goal, not the best goal obviously, but for folks who are getting started, weight's important. I get it, and I'm always cooking somewhere between 190 and 195 in the morning. That's where I've been actually, probably for a month or 2. I mean, I am where I was when I was 20, so I'm not worried about it. I don't care about weight anymore. I make sure my belly doesn't get big, and life is good. Don't eat too much bacon. I can see that. I personally use bacon as a flavor enhancer. I use it for the salt. I use it for the smoke. Although I have chipotle peppers, which I use, and that gives me all the smoke, and or morita peppers, which are spicier, but they have a great amount of smoke. And all the pork I get from carnitas or a chicharrón duro. Here, it's mixed with meat. Literally, it's the bacon meat, but instead of going through a process, they actually confit it, the French confit. They actually bathe it in its own grease, and they stir it around until it's cooked. If you've ever had carnitas, or if you've ever had chicharrones with the meat included, you're in heaven. I personally wouldn't ever need to go back to bacon. But if it's something you like, you don't have to be afraid of it. Make sure on the package it doesn't say honey cured or sugar cured or any of the other stuff. Sometimes they sweeten it up a little bit, because pork does go with sweets. It really does. Don't forget to drink water. Absolutely. Especially if you're right in the beginning, your water's going to tank. You are going to diuresis like you've never diuresised before, as that insulin falls. And you just don't need the water. But I would say in the beginning, if you start getting maybe a headache or 2, pinch of salt and definitely drink water. But make sure you get that salt. You have the headache because your brain's actually expanding in your cranium. And it has to do with osmosis and salt and water. Okay, they play with each other all the time in your body, and your body's always trying to figure out how to get that worked out so that you don't get seizures and comas and die and stuff. So yeah, drink water. Always with a little pinch of salt. Your kidneys will take care of that. If you have kidney issues, you got to get that worked out, figured out. They don't regenerate well. So I would say if you're already damaged in some way, luckily I stopped before I hurt myself. But some folks get into this a little later, and you need to worry about your kidneys. That you can actually worry about, but they have ways around that now. Don't give up on all starchy vegetables. Well, and that's the end of the article, so I'll finish with that, and then we'll just go ahead. Yeah, like I said, I'll link this in the description for you. Starchy vegetables. The only way I really ever liked potatoes, and believe it or not, even mashed, I didn't like them that much, were French fries. And of course, that's off. do not take starches and fry them. Donuts, French fries, any of these, yeah, the most delicious things in the world. I get it, but they're all. I think the word is glycated. No. They just like they say, wreak havoc in your body. No, they wreak havoc. They're just no. Don't do it. If you want to eat potatoes raw, I don't think there's a problem with that. Obviously, with the skin, don't eat them green. Very bad. And if you want to gently cook them or even bake them, God, again, in Mexico we say that to each his own. Do it. If you have, after you're fat adapted and you actually have, for some reason, I've never heard this happen, but you may be, obviously different. If you have a desire to eat a potato because you're missing something, then eat one. And it won't matter, but just eat it near the end of the meal. All right, eat all your proteins and fats first. All right, carrots, I'll eat a carrot here and there on a salad when I have the desire for salad. I haven't been desirous of salads lately. And then they talk about the fiber. There's no RDA for fiber. There's no recommended daily allowance. Fiber is one of those things that it depends on your tribe. You're going to say, yeah, you need it, or yeah, you don't need it. It's up to your body. If you're passing movements, if you're defecating well, you're not liquid, you're not constipated, and you don't feel bloated, and you're moving things through your body now on carnivore, you're not going to have a whole lot to go because it just doesn't hit your large colon. And it does give your colon and your bacteria quite a break there. But that's research you'll have to do on your own. I personally don't need that much fiber. If I get it, I get it. Like I said, I probably get a ton of it in just the sauces that I make for my meats. Again, in Mexico, I normally make what's called a guisado. It's a stew. And I'll cook down some delicious meat. I don't care if it's fish, pork, poultry, or beef. And then I'll mix a chili sauce with it, whether it's pasilla chilies, ancho chilies, garlic, onion, tomatoes, avocado, pico de gallo. Oh my gosh, no. I think in the fiber area, I think I accidentally eat all the fiber I need just because I just adore the original Mexican foods. And if it weren't for Coca-Cola, sorry if I mentioned a brand name, they're probably a great company. I don't know, they're woke, they love everybody. Rah, 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 peace out. Carbonated beverage drinks, if they didn't have those in Mexico and they didn't eat so much flour, they'd probably be in good shape, because it seems like I can even handle corn tortillas when they're nixtamalizado. You'll have to look that process up. But I sparingly, I almost never eat them, and when I do, like for example, I think Sunday we're going to go eat birria, I will eat 5 of them. That will give me about 60 grams of carbs, and I will have walked to the birria, which is 2 miles, and I will have walked home from the birria, which is another 2 miles, and we will be walking downtown after we've eaten. So I'll have plenty of exercise. My muscles will take those 60 grams times 4 is 240 calories within 2 hours. By the time my body is ready to start packing that stuff away as fat, I will have already burned that off, just because my base metabolic rate is over 100 an hour. So I will burn that many carbs off as I eat them now. All right? I guess one last thing on exercise. I told you guys to walk. If you can start doing wall push-ups and then start working yourself down, maybe do some get on your knees and do some knee push-ups, and then finally full body push-ups. It takes care of your planks. It takes care of your muscles, your traps, your biceps. You'll have to work. I guess you can take separate bottles and kind of just curl those a little bit. But in your daily life, you're constantly lifting and moving, and you're going to do just fine on that. So all in all, I think the article was it was better than most. It didn't look like it had an agenda. I obviously don't have an agenda. My agenda is just low carb, because we do know that with low carb is low insulin, and where there's no insulin, there's just happiness and no inflammation in the body. And one last dig, they didn't mention seed oils at all. I would use butter, lard, or extra virgin olive oil. All right, I would stay away from everything else. It's pretty much all inflammatory. And they didn't mention nuts either. I eat pecans here and there. Like last night, I had some pecans, and I had a little bit of, some chocolate chips. Apparently, they're okay for me. So, yay! So once you get the hang of it, after about a year, you'll figure out what you can eat, and you don't want to go back to what you were doing. It's just, I'm saying you probably just won't want to. And it's not like you're on a diet for a certain amount of time. That's ridiculous. People eat the standard American diet, and if they have to eat a salad, they're not like, oh, I'm going off plan. All right. So we'll leave it with that. You guys, if I get a chance to get a video in here tomorrow, I will. You guys have a great one. Bye.